Hey VC, it's Ron. Thanks for joining me. I got some things lined up today. I got RISA finds, I got a few thrift store finds, and got a couple of things I got off eBay. To get started with, I'm going to show this album I just picked up. It's the Buoys, Timothy, and it came out in 1971, and it has the hit Timothy on it, which is this is what's playing right now, and it's on the Scepter label, and it came with a lyric sheet, and this band was out of Pennsylvania, and this is their only album, and Timothy was a top 20 hit, and the reason it got such high on the charts, not because of the music, because of the subject matter. It was reportedly about cannibalism. About 3 men who were miners were trapped in a mine, and they ended up eating one of their partners. And subsequently, a lot of the radio stations banned the song, and the record label tried to explain it off that Timothy was actually their mule and not a human. But the songwriter, Rupert Holmes, he repeatedly denied that. And so the single was actually released in December of 70, and then the album followed shortly thereafter in 71. And this is a rare picture sleeve of Timothy. And there's a letter on the back that appears to have been written by a little girl about the subject matter of the song, but more than likely it was something that was made up in the art department. And this is the single, and it has a flip side of It Feels Good, which is not on the album. I don't know if that guy ever got banned in Phoenix, but I used to know a guy that he was a native here, and he was about 7 years older than me. And he told me once that he remembered that song. So evidently it did get airplay here in the valley. But I was very surprised about this album. It's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's mainly pop rock, but it's really good. You don't see it that often. Well worth picking up. The Buoys. Oh, and incidentally, the back picture, you look down here, it says dinner music. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. This next one I got is the Soft Machine, and this is a Record Store Day release out of the UK, and it's called Wonderland. And it's rare tracks recorded between 1967 and 1970, and it also featured, it's basically like demos plus some live stuff. And it's got some 67 material featuring David Allen, who would later go on to form Gong. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. The quality's kind of mixed on it, but overall it's quite good. It's kind of like a nice quality bootleg, to tell you the truth. And from what I've been able to find out from various eBay sellers, this is from this year, Record Store Day, and it's a limited edition of 500 copies. So, a very cool 1967 photo of the band on the front, and I believe this is David Allen right here in the center. No insert, no extensive liner notes. It comes with a catalog booklet, that's about all. I wish it would have had some extensive liner notes, but still pretty cool. And then I got this off eBay. It's the last Blue Cheer album, What Doesn't Kill You. And originally this came out in '07, and this is a '11 re-release on vinyl. When this album was originally released, it was released out of the UK and it was CD only. So this is the first vinyl edition of it, and it's a Dutch pressing, high quality. And it's a limited edition colored vinyl. It's 2 LPs. It clocks in at almost an hour. It doesn't have a gatefold. Pretty cool cover there. It's on, a lot of sellers claim it's purple vinyl, but it's not really. It's more like a cobalt blue. If you've ever seen cobalt glass, it's real deep blue like this. It's got a little bit of a marble splatter thrown into it. And it's only actually 3 sides. The 4th side is acid etched, and I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I'll try and angle it. Maybe you can get a little glimpse of it. It's not real deep etching, so it's kind of faint. But it's basically the skeletons that are on the front cover. Pretty cool. So this is the 10th studio LP from Blue Cheer, and also their last, as Dickie Peterson passed away a couple of years after this album came out. It's about a 3-star album. A lot of people rate it 4 stars, but I would give it 3 stars. Some really good tracks on here, mostly all originals. It's got Born Under a Bad Sign by Albert King. And this last track, No Relief, is kind of a reworking of The Hunter, which Blue Cheer did on their 2nd album. But pretty cool. And from what I've been able to find out on the internet, the first 500 copies of this were on the colored vinyl. And then the rest of them after that were on black vinyl with the acid etching. Then I got this out in the wild. It's Kraftwerk, The Man Machine. Real nice copy of this. And it's got the inner sleeve. And I had this back in the mid-'80s, so I had not heard this album in 30 years, so this was cool to hear again. And I put a retro Capitol stereophonic inner sleeve in the inside of it. And it has custom labels. So definitely one of the essential Kraftwerk albums right here. 4-star album. And then I got, that came out in 1978, very, very groundbreaking for its time. And this is another 1978 release. This is a 12-inch EP out of the UK, and it's Neon Lights. And I'd seen this a long time ago, at least 25 years ago, and I finally got a copy, and this is on glow-in-the-dark vinyl. And I tried it yesterday, and it still glows. Plays at 45 RPM, sounded real nice. Then I got the second Aorta 2, And this is on the Happy Tiger label after they got dropped from Columbia. And I had never heard this album before. I'd heard Aorta 1, but I'd never heard this one. And it's actually pretty good. It's definitely not as psychedelic as their first album, but there's some light psych stuff on here. When I say light, I mean, you know, not real deep psych. Pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. It starts off with a cover version of Willie Jean that Blues Magoos did, and pretty cool. Then I got this Eclectic Mouse, and I'd seen this around in Phoenix back in the 80s quite a bit, and then it just disappeared. This was actually recorded here in Phoenix. It's basically a local album, but it was picked up by Capitol. It was never released here locally. And it was recorded at Audio Recorders over on 7th Street, and we took a little visit there once, and really good album. I was kind of put off by all the trumpets and horns and flutes and stuff that's listed on the cover, but actually that's real minor. It's not real overbearing. This album reminds me of Osmosis on RCA. It's not as heavy as the Osmosis, but it's kind of in that vein where it mixes psych, prog, jazz, mixes it all together. It's got some heavy guitar, it's got some trippy prog elements. Really cool album. I'm glad I picked it up. Well worth grabbing if you see it. The Eclectic Mouse, and it is on the green Capitol label. Came out in oh man, I think it's 71. And this was a score here. This is the Rattles, and this is an original German pressing, and it's live at the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany, a place where the Beatles frequented in '61. And this has got a beautiful glossy cover. And this is their first album. The Wikipedia says that it came out in '63. It may have been recorded in '63, but it did come out in 1964. And this has got a really cool Philips label that I'll show. The cover is excellent condition and the vinyl is mint. Really cool Philips label with the Micro Groove label logo. Very cool. And I played this yesterday. It just sounds beautiful. Nice quality for a live club recording from '64. I got this dirt cheap. I don't think they really realized what they had. But these go for a considerable amount of money in Europe, but here in the States, not so much. But yeah, this could bring some good money in the European market. Really cool album. It's got that Mercy beat, and then it's got the garage rockers on here too. It's all cover versions, but really cool. I'll get the song listings on there so you can see it. Got quite a few songs that the Beatles used to do in the same club earlier. They end the album with P.S. I Love You. It's got Dream Baby, Roy Orbison, Johnny B. Good, Mashed Potatoes, Hippie Hippie Shake, Crying, Waiting, Hoping by Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Really cool. Then I got an original Count 5, Psychotic Reaction. And this is a mono copy. I used to have a reissue of this, but got rid of it years ago, so I got me original one now. Pretty good album. And pick this up. Big Brother and the Holding Company featuring Janis. And this is an original issue on Mainstream. This is the album that the band recorded when they first formed, and it got shelved, and then when they became big stars with Cheap Thrills, the record label decided to release this to capitalize on Janis, and the band tried to block it, and they failed, and it got out anyway. The reason they tried to block is they thought they'd improved a great deal, and which is true, and they just thought it would hurt their image if it came out, but it's not a bad album. There's some good songs on it. And then I got Wind of the Willows, 1968 folk psych album on Capitol. And probably a lot of you know this featured Debbie Harry, and she's mainly backing vocals and a little bit of percussion. There is one song on here that she does some lead vocal on. It's kind of mixed. Probably the good outweighs the bad, but the bad really hurts it. Just really stupid, lame songs. Real kind of quirky, almost like a novelty type song, you know. But there's one song on there that's really cool. It ends side one. There is one Truth Daddy, kind of a long poem song with a real cool Eastern psych vibe going on it. Real cool. But I got this pretty cheap, and I'd never heard it before, so I'm glad I got it. And then I got the Kinks Chronicles. And I'd never had this album before. I used to see it a lot, but I ignored it because I thought it was like a compilation of best of tracks. I never really looked at it. But I come to find out from a Goldmine magazine a long time ago that this is actually a rarities album. And it's kind of like in the vein of the Great Lost Kinks album. It's kind of part one of the Great Lost Kinks album. And then the Great Lost Kinks album is part two. And it's basically all single tracks, previously non-issued tracks, and previously unreleased tracks in the United States. A lot of these songs I'd never heard before, like I'd never heard King Kong before. I mean, that's a real cool song. It's all tracks from like 66 to 70. So it's prime Kinks years. And this was released in the United States only, and extensive liner notes. Really cool album. And I guess the Wikipedia on that states that came in on Rolling Stone's top 500 albums of all time. I believe it came out at about 260-ish on the list, so that's pretty high. And then I got this. This is pretty rare. It's The Who and the Strawberry Alarm Clock, and this is a special products promo release that Philco put out. And you'll notice it says Philco Ford, and I found out that Ford bought out Philco. And so this was probably given away as a promotional item when you bought a Philco stereo or record player. I don't know how it's distributed, but I'm pretty sure this was not sold in the stores. US only, as far as I know. Canada might have got it, but I doubt it. And it's on a unique label. And it's pretty cool. I've only seen like 2 copies of this in the wild, and I got a good price on it, so I picked it up. And here's the tracks, The Who, Strawberry Alarm Clock. A lot of that Strawberry Alarm Clock I'd never heard before. Nightmare of Percussion. I don't know what the album's that on, but it's deep psych. It's pretty cool. Lots of cool liner notes on that. So, and it does say limited edition, collector's edition, right up here. But yeah, pretty cool. Then I got Pentangle, Cruel Child, and this is an original US copy, real clean. This is their 4th album. The first 3 albums are the ones you want to have. This was pretty good. I've never heard the first 3, so I can't compare this to those. But this was pretty good. Nice UK folk psych, male-female vocals. And then I got 3 thrift store finds. This is a reissue, early 80s reissue. Brian Eno, Another Green World. And even these reissues bring big money. I mean, this is like $25, $30 album. And you see any Brian Eno on vinyl, especially anything that's more vintage, grab it if it's cheap, because they're in demand and they go for bring some pretty good money. So this is like a 5-star classic. This is a great album. And then I got Misplaced Childhood, Marillion. And I had this back in the day. I remember when this band came out. They're very prog. They were criticized for being a Genesis copycat band. They do sound a lot like Genesis. The lead singer actually sounds like a cross between Peter Gabriel and David I think his name's David Chapman, the singer for Family. And excellent album. The 1985, this was their kind of their big breakthrough album here in the States. They had a couple prior to this one in the States. But good album. And then I got Cosmic Things, B-52s. And this is one of their better albums after their first 2. It's kind of a comeback to popularity album for them. It's got custom labels. It's got the big hit Love Shack and Rome on it. And I've never heard this album before. It was quite good. And this is a record club edition. No barcode on the back, so that's nice. I hate barcodes. So, yeah, good one to snag. Okay, that does it for all the albums. Now I'm going to go to part 2. I picked up a bunch of 45s here locally out in the wild, and if you want to stick around for those, I sure would like to have you. So I'll show the singles now. Alright guys, might as well start off with the Man in Black. I got a nice earlier copy of Big River on Sun, backed with Ballad of a Teenage Queen. And this is on the thicker vinyl. It kind of got a little thin on the later pressings. And this one I'd never seen before. It's Hello, I Love You, Won't You Tell Me Your Name by The Doors. And this is a first pressing. I'd heard about this, but I'd never actually seen one before. And it's got Love Street on the flip side. And if you look in the trail off, dead wax, it actually has the song title engraved into the dead wax, which was pretty cool because I have another pressing of this and it doesn't have that, so pretty cool. Not as rare as I thought they were. You can get them on eBay, but just real happy to get that one. And this is the Count 5, You Must Believe Me. It's a designated promotional copy. And it's got Teeny Bopper on the flip, and both of these tracks were not on the album. They were released after the album, early '67. And this is a nice heavy vinyl. For a small company, they put out some quality singles. And I believe that song is actually written by Curtis Mayfield. You can see there C. Mayfield. And this is my other Count 5 single that I have. This is out of my collection. And this is Psychotic Reaction. And it says promotion in motion. There's a lot of uncertainty amongst record collectors. Whether or not that means a promotional copy, or if it's just reference to their the label's PR man, Erwin Zucker. It may not be a promotional copy, but it's on nice heavy vinyl as well, and a little bit of a different label design compared to this one. And the flip side is They're Gonna Get You. Now, we're going to get into some polystyrene, which I positively hate, but I got these pretty cheap prices and they're really, really clean, excellent to near mint shape, so this was an upgrade for me. It's the Mojo Man, Don't Leave Me Crying Like Before. And then it's got the Buffalo Springfield cover song, Sit Down, I Think I Love You, on the flip side. And the Mojo Men were originally out of San Francisco. They were on the Autumn label along with the Beau Brummels. And this is the Blues Magoos. This is a little later pressing on a black label, which is unusual. You don't see this pressing very much. And this is their first single. So that's pretty cool. The other thing with styrene, it sounds really good when it's brand new, but it wears very quickly and the sound just deteriorates. This is Sir Douglas Quintet, released in March of '65. She's About a Mover. Just a really cool garage tune there on the original Tribe label. This is a first pressing. Later, Tribe would develop an Indian designed label. And yeah, like I say, these are just really clean. And then I got Richard and the Young Lions, Open Up Your Door. Backed with Once Upon Your Smile. Just excellent garage two-sider. Now this did come up with a picture sleeve. I don't have that, but they're not terribly expensive if you shop around. This is Beau Brummels' Laugh Laugh. This is their first single on Autumn, and this is not a promo. This is just the original label color. So that's the first one. And then I had that one, and then I picked up 3 more. Just a Little, and They'll Make You Cry. Tell Me Why, and I Want You. and Don't Talk to Strangers, and In Good Time. Now they had 5 singles on Autumn. I've got the first 4. The last one, which I don't have, is non-album. These others here were all on their first 2 albums. So yeah, the 5th one, that's one that's on my list now. A great band. After listening to those, I appreciate the Beau Brummels more than I ever did. Just excellent band. Okay guys, that does not do it. I've still got a few more here. I got Hey Joe, The Leaves, which was originally released in April or May of '66, depending on which source you look at. And this was released several times. It was remixed, re-released with different B-sides. I think this has like 3 different B-sides. I think this is the 3rd version of it with Funny Little World. The release prior to this had The Girl from the East on the B-side. And this one's kind of a grail for people. This is actually, the original version of this was released in November of '65. And what this one is, it's the second mix with whistles. Now the very first issue of this does not have the whistles in it, but it's the same version, but it's just a different mix. And as you can see, it's Hey Joe, Where You Gonna Go? And this does not have the writer's credit on it, where this one does. There's a whole Wikipedia on the song Hey Joe, and it explains why there's so many songwriter credits and how Dino Valenti became owner of the song. Well worth reading. It's quite interesting. But anyway, from what I understand, I guess this version, the second mix, is the rarest of all of them. And I was real lucky. I got this pretty cheap. I think I got it at a record show. And the vinyl is just mint minus. Just beautiful condition. Well, I shouldn't say vinyl, it's styrene. But yeah, I'm pretty proud to have that. And then I really love the Monkey's Head movie, so I got Porpoise Song with a picture sleeve, Near Mint with a Near Mint promotional single. It's pretty cool. And the Porpoise Song is a different, well, it's not different, it's the same version, but it's a mono mix, and it's extended, longer version than what's actually on the soundtrack album. So if you want the full length Porpoise Song, you got to get the single. So that's pretty nice. I got these here locally. I had to pay up, well, I got this one pretty no, actually I got the stock copy too, but you know, I paid up on them, but when you balance them out together, I got them all a pretty good price. So I got the promo, and then I also got the stock copy of it. And then I got a Seeds Grail off eBay. I mean, I've been wanting this for so long. The Seeds Satisfy You and 900 People Daily. And this is a plastic picture sleeve. And from what I understand, this is the world's first plastic picture sleeve. And this was new old stock. The seller actually had 3 of them, and I bought one. And if you go on eBay, if you want one bad enough, I think he'll have one for you. They're $30 plus $4 shipping, but they're in beautiful condition. And I thought it was going to be hard plastic, but actually it's soft plastic, and I keep a piece of acid-free cardstock stuck on the inside of it to stiffen it up. But yeah, I mean, I had the other US Seeds picture sleeves, but I didn't have this one. So man, I'm really stoked to get this one. Really cool. And then this is the stock single that came with it. And like I said, just minty. And it's on styrene, unfortunately. I got a white label promo of this as well. It's on styrene. So, yeah. Always great when you get yourself a grail. Alright guys, that's it. I'm done. Ron's out. And by the way, we've been listening to some of that Soft Machine Wonderland album that I showed. I hope you could hear some of that. Alright, catch you next time guys. Later.